Is the music too loud?
I don't hear anything.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay, so what do you guys where do we want to start?
What are we
What do you
looking at?
want to know?
Nvidia?
I'm doing video. Yeah, I'm actually on it. Um, Hamza, do you just want to see how I start my charting, like what my process is?
Yeah.
Okay, so I kind of already did this. I did this earlier in the week. Now I just got to fine tune some of these levels. So these lines are basically just key levels, but they are not concrete. So I do this before the market opens. I'll plot my key levels and then I'll fine tune it as price is coming closer to it. So this just lets me know, hey, I need to draw a demand or supply box around it. And that'll give me more accuracy when price is coming into it. So for example, I just drew this one on Friday. So this is an area that I'm expecting price to come down and bounce off of.
And
So
what's
this
demand? Support?
so is um demand is an area, yeah, basically you could think support. Demand is an area where a lot of a lot of buyers and sellers have met. Basically there's been a lot of transactions in the area where price has struggled, right? So the way I find it, the way I look at it is I'm looking for an area that has a really sharp move off a small body candle. So for example, um, so here's one to the short side. So you could consider this to be actually this is to the long side right here. The reason why I drew it here is because of this right here. You see this wick? You see this big body candle? Get the tool out.
Yeah.
So this right here. This tells me that there is an aggressive amount of buyers in this area, and it shot this candle up, right? So now, was if this was to happen, if this was happening on this day, right? And let's say the next day the market's opening, I'm really mindful of this big gap area. It has to get filled because this boom candle is an imbalance candle. Whenever you see this, just know that price is going to come and the buyers that have stepped in here, sellers are going to fight to capture the unfilled orders in this area. So if you imagine just a box from here, this whole area is prime real estate. Maybe not the next day, but the subsequent days after, this whole area is filled with the liquidity that price has to fill. This whole thing is an imbalance. So I use the demand and supply zones from this candle and I draw it out for the week ahead. So let's say if this happened, what day was this? Tuesday. Let's say it happened on a Friday. I'm going to use this as a potential. I'm going to use this as a potential demand zone for the subsequent week. Why? Because I'm expecting price to come in and take out all this liquidity, sorry, not take out, that's the wrong word. Fill all this liquidity before it decides to go up or decides to go down. Does that make sense?
Yes.
So when I'm drawing these out, I'm looking for this key area. This is a key area for me. So this is the current demand zone, but price is up here. So while this is a demand zone, let me back up a little. While this is a demand zone, it may not be the most current demand zone because we still have some levels to get through. Price is at 187. It's not going to jump down $10 off the get-go. It's going to find other zones before it does that. So the way I look at it is I'm looking for where the last for long side for demand, I'm looking for where the last red candle is, the body, before the expansion move. So here's another area right here. This is the start of another demand zone. So now I'm going to be watching this area as the first bounce spot when price gets close to it. You see how I did that? So basically it's just,
That's more reasonable, right? That's only a
Yeah.
couple dollars.
yeah. So this would likely be the most recent demand zone. Price will come down and it'll struggle at this area. And when it struggles at this area, this is where I'm looking for a potential long. So price will do this, and then we're expecting it to come here and maybe struggle. And then either shoot up or struggle and then break down to this level and then break down to this level. So that's how I'm able to spot these zones so quickly. It's just I've been trying to train my eye for a long time so I can see them easier. Since this is maybe a newer concept for you guys, you just have to spend a little more time on the charts to try to see where they're at. But then eventually you could look at a chart and be like, oh, here's a demand zone. Boom, here's a box here. Here's a box here. Here's a box here. You know what I mean? That's how, Hamza, do you remember Tesla? You still here, Hamza?
Yeah.
You remember Tesla? If you pull up your
I have my chart on the side.
your chat from the WhatsApp, I sent this out like 7 in the morning, or no, it was like 3 in the morning before any of this developed. I already knew where this zone was going to be, man, based off simple the 4 hour and the 2 hour. So look,
So you had a short bias for Thursday and Friday or no?
I had a short bias. Yes, I had a short bias. So this is it. I was looking at this area. This is, you see where price has a lot of wicks and then it has some bounces. So this is the resistance. Then you have resistance, resistance. Then you have support, touch, support, touch, support, touch, 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 touch. This is an area where buyers and sellers fought. So it tells me that when price comes back to this level, it's going to have a problem breaking through this level. There's going to be some action. So there's a concept called fractal pricing where price is never going to do this, right? It's going to do one of these, right? So it's fractal. It'll come in waves. It'll make a leg down, make a leg up, make a leg down, make a leg up. This is mainly for you, Hamza. Shaz already knows this, but so when these levels come into play, historically, they will still be valid in the future. So a lot of transactions are going on here. Price didn't really move up. It came back down, and then it moved up, came back down, moved up again, and then didn't really shoot up. And then the next day, look, we got a gap into another level. So it tells me that this area is very key for buyers and sellers. So on Friday, the morning of Friday, I looked at the chart and what was Tesla doing? Consolidating here. So it gives me two options. Either Tesla wants to come back up here, which in my eyes, in the morning time, it was like around this time. Let's see. It's right here. What is the most probable scenario? If you wake up and you see Tesla doing this, based off historical data from the day before, do you think Tesla wants to go up or wants to go down? We already know where it went, right? But based off just this information, what are the odds of Tesla going back up?
Yeah.
It already made this move here. It already struggled to come up and then hit a key level of resistance, but it didn't break through. It didn't break through, right? So and then it pulled back all the way the whole day. So then now the next day, I'm thinking, okay, if Tesla doesn't make this move right off the open and shoot up, then that's it. Now it's in full sell program and it's going to come down to this level, the one we drew out before. So you got to look at what levels are closer, and that improves your odds of where you want price to go, where you're expecting price to go. If that makes any sense.
So how do you even mark out those higher time frame levels?
Like which one? Like this one?
No, like the one on the top that you had?
Oh, the very, very top?
Yeah.
So always look left.
You're looking for like a big body width.
Yeah. So this one in particular, look what I see. Actually, this should have been a zone. I didn't draw it as a zone. Maybe I got pressed on time or I got lazy. But this actually is a nice valid zone from So you see this red body right here?
Hmm.
So I'm drawing it from here. This is how I draw zones. Everyone does it a little bit different, but this has worked for me for a long time in trying to isolate where price wants to go. Oh, that's why I didn't draw it, because the box would have been too dang big. So that's basically why. So this whole area is an
Is
area.
is that called supply zone?
So supply, exactly. So supply is on top, demand is on the bottom. Just like resistance is on top, support's on the bottom, right? So usually these, just to make it easier for my eye, I color coordinate these. So I'll do them red, just so it's easier for my eyes. And so this was a red zone before, but now, okay, now it's going to be, now we don't know what it's going to be, because on Monday, what is price going to do? Oh wait, we already know, right? Price already did go down. Yeah, so now this is a red zone. So now this is going to be a supply. So I would expect price to, let's say Monday comes, either come off of this and shoot back down, break through this and go further, or it's gonna come up, tap here, consolidate, and then move up. As you know, if Tesla doesn't have any news or earnings or a tweet, it usually is not gonna just shoot up straight. It's gonna rally and then consolidate and then rally again.
So what do you think is the next likely? Is it gonna test your demand or break through the supply?
So the way Tesla's looking for me, I
The
don't
way it's
think it
come
has
down.
I don't think it has upside. Look, when are these something's happening soon, right? October. It's like mid-October earnings comes out. Something's coming out. I forgot when it's coming out, but something's gonna happen on Tesla. And I think price is just gonna wait for that now. I don't know, Hamza, can you look up the news? I believe it's like October 16th, October 15th. They're supposed to release something.
Yeah, let's see.
October 22nd.
22nd? Okay. Is it earnings?
Yeah, TradingView has a big E on that day, so maybe earnings.
Yeah, I don't know why my thing doesn't show up. So the next area of interest for Tesla. So I have demand levels way the heck down here. Does it come down here? Who knows? But these are areas of interest. So if Tesla loses 415, then it potentially can come down to here, which is 350s. And if it loses that, then now we're coming down to 270s. Probably unlikely, but I like to just have them up just so I have an idea of where we're headed. Yeah, let's we could go to another chart. Oh yeah, that's what I was gonna show you on the, what was it? Wednesday. Wednesday was the day I took that bottom scalp.
I take the 5-minute breaking retest.
Was it the Wednesday, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so look, this is why I remember how you were asking me why I took it, and I told you higher time frames, right? So this is why. So this was my, at the time, it was my resistance. Okay, so this is my resistance, right? And price actually opened up. So this is my resistance on, let's say today is the opening of Wednesday, okay? This is my zone, my resistance zone. And then I drew my 1555 right here. 1555 candle from body to wick. Sorry, from wick to body. You see it, right?
It's just the first one you brought me.
What
First
was
candle?
that? The
But
first for 1555?
yeah.
No, so it's the last 5-minute candle. So look.
The second imbalance candle.
Yeah, no, so don't look at this one. This is 1550, 1555.
Okay.
You see where the time is? 1555. So I drew from from the top of the wick to the body. And I just drag it across. So then market opens. Come on, trading view. Come on, trading view. Right here. So that's my 1555, drug it across, and it also happened to fall into my supply zone, which is now acting like demand. On this day, it was demand. So that's why, Hamza, when you said, why did I take it here? It's because higher time frame was telling me price is hovering in my demand. I didn't take it here because I didn't like how quick, how lightly this wick tapped into the zone. It barely touched it and then shot back up. I like to see retracement actually even further. I would like to have seen it cross down here and then go up, but it didn't do it. The reason why I scalped it here is because all of this area was my demand. So I had double confluence on this trade. At the time, this was green. So this is what I was looking at. You see, Hamza? So I took it in right here. My stop loss was, my goodness, below. I think I even had it at the 50% line. This was probably
And the 5-minute
low-
high is right there too.
Yeah, but I don't like this 5-minute high. I know Tony does this, Jack does this. I don't like this. I don't like it when the wick is so far from the body. So basic market concept, this right here, Hamza, this candle, it tells you a story. This story is all the sellers, all the buyers were here. Okay. And then buyers pushed this up and then sellers smacked it back down. Okay. The candle closed red, but this is all the area where buyers were able to push this up, right? So this doesn't give me too much confidence just yet that it's a strong. Had it closed green, maybe, but I don't like this wick. I like to see wicks like this. This is a good 5-minute retest, not when it's like this. This tells me I need to wait. I need to wait a little to see what price is going to do. You get it? So
Yeah.
I didn't even care that this was a 5-minute sentiment high because it already was invalidated. I was just looking at this. Low risk. And then I took some off, a little bit off high of day, and I just let it run. And then I stopped myself out somewhere around here. Great trade, man. Probably the best low risk trade I've taken. This was a pure A+ setup. If you just wait, and I tell this to myself all the time, if I just wait for a setup like this with the lowest risk, and I probably just need to trade 1 or 2 times a week. That's it.
So your entry was 4.45 when you're?
I think it was a little bit. Yeah, it was right around here. Let me see. I think I wrote it down. It was very low risk. Extremely low risk.
It's like a 10-hour trade if you
It
went all the
was,
way up.
yeah, it was. I almost went to 11. And it's funny because
So why did you take it up there when it kept going higher, or your bar by barring?
why did I sell it?
Yeah.
So, and other traders will tell you otherwise. I bar by bar it after I've taken my first scale. I wait for the red candle. So this red candle doesn't bother me. The second red candle will bother me. So this one started here, right? And then as soon as this one started coming down, I cut it. I don't want to see that. I want to see, okay, if this red candle starts, is closed, I want to see the next candle start here and push up. Once it opens down here, I don't want to sit through that. I don't want to micromanage it. I cut it.
So that's also considered like the third pullback, right? When people would get into this trade is like the first and second pullback, right? Look at the buyers step up.
Where first? Back here?
Even if you look at right there, right above your circle, if you consider that a pullback, right? That's a great buy.
It's a great buy.
Yeah, and then the second pullback is right. Where is it? 455. So at 10:45. So
yeah. Oh, up here.
yeah, up there.
Yeah.
That's the second pullback. Now the third red candle is a very lower probability pullback. Right? No one's buying this now. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah. Now it's like, okay, now if they are buying, then it's not as heavy. Look, all the aggression is here. Look at all these candles. All the aggressive move buyers are here. Huge spike in volume to push this up. Now they're letting it ride. No one's getting back in here. Now it's just momentum riding it, right? But take a look at this. I just noticed it now. So this is another thing you're gonna have to learn, Hamza. It's quick to learn. These
Mhm.
flag patterns, people will say they don't work, but they work, man. They work. If I had noticed this, I would have been okay with adding. I didn't notice at first.
You could
You
also
could
add it at
add,
that order block,
which one?
that red candle right there.
You're saying this?
No, the one right before it.
Mm, yeah, but look, it probably didn't play out so well here. I mean, so
So my favorite setup is that bull flag setup.
there's bull flag, right? You know, Tesla seems to do it a lot, man. After it has a nice run up.
And you know what's nice about it? It's easy to spot. You know other traders are looking at it,
Yeah.
right? When it works, it works. It's a great.
Yeah.
That's a great flag right there. If you look at the pole and the flag.
Yeah. This is
So
this is beautiful, and I love it when Price
it's a
does this.
it's a 3 point trade, right? 455 to what? How high did it go? 458?
Or 58.74.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I love it when Tesla does this, when it makes that move up and it comes, consolidates, but lower high, lower high, lower high, boom, expansion move. Great. Absolutely great. And it just kept going. Great freaking move. Um, Another thing I was going to tell you, Hamza, is you always, if you want to determine the trend,
Mhm.
you always want to count the lows and the highs. So, for example, you always want to do, so we got lower high, lower high, lower high, and then there's no more lower highs, they're just lower lows. So now the trend is broken. Bull trend is broken. So um, higher low, higher low, higher low, but then now look, lower low. So the bull trend is broken. So that's one other way you can spot to see where your trend is. Just look at the bottoms.
Mhm.
You get what I mean? Yeah, I think now my trading is shifting to strictly just higher time frames. If I don't see it on the higher time frame, then there's no business in me taking it. Oh, that reminds me. Look at this, Hamza. This is what I was trying to explain to you. I have no idea why Jack and Tony did this. I kind of know, but they should really explain
Can
why.
we look at Apple and another stock I want?
Yeah, yeah,
Oh, you already have Apple. Nice.
yeah. I just pulled out Apple right now.
So the
So
next level on Tesla would be like this 488. Because if you look left,
uh,
that's where it is.
yep, 489-ish, 488. Yeah, yeah. But
So
now
how
we
do you
got a
mark
whole
out
new.
higher time frame levels on the sell side?
How do you what?
How do you mark out higher time frame levels on like the sell on the lower part?
How do you?
Yeah, or you just mark out all the lows.
Sorry, buddy. I'm not understanding your question.
You know how you mark out that level up there, like the 488? How would you do it for downtrend?
Oh, for downtrend? Oh,
Yeah.
so then it's demands. It goes back to demands. So look, I got levels here. 356. This is my zone. This is where I'm expecting price to come and chop it up. They're gonna meet some sellers are gonna meet some buyers here. This is where they're gonna come, and either then at that point you decide where if price is gonna move back up or come back down. So I don't mark out just I usually will mark these lines, like I said, and then I'll draw zones around it. Um, what you want to do is wherever your eye falls, remember I was showing you this in person, Hamza? Wherever
Mhm.
your eye falls with the most touches of the wicks is going to be your key level. So I see one here, and the reason why is, so look, resistance, 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 and now we got support, support, these touches. support, support. So this is a key level. And then when price comes closer to it, I'll draw a zone. Either there's going to be a zone up here or a zone below. But I don't know if price is going there until it establishes a trend, right? And that's where the higher time frame read on the pattern is what's helpful. Then you could kind of determine which demand zone it's trying to target. So now Tesla, I think we come down lower. I think we're going to come here. I think inshallah this will be a really great swing opportunity, unless Monday hits hard and Tesla does one of these.
There's a FOMC meeting on Wednesday.
Yeah, that's no good. That's no good. Then that means we're probably gonna have some chop action. Probably gonna have some chop. Okay, so Apple. This is the reason why I didn't agree with that trade, Hamza. So if you look at here, those guys took it off the 5-minute sentiment high, or they did for one candle rule. What did they do?
I think it was the previous day high for them.
Oh, was it? Previous day high is here. All right, let's see what they did.
I took it off that 1555 level.
Did
And
you?
then they got it. Yeah, and then they got in. So I actually took it before them.
1555 is here. So you took it way down here?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, wow. Okay. So the problem with this is you took it on a reclaim of 1555.
No, when that wick retested it. You see that?
Here?
No, on the
Here.
first wick. Yeah.
So 1555 works the best, Hamza, and I think I put it in the rule. 1555 works the best when price is drawn into it. So let's say this was 1555. When price is drawn into it for a bounce. Reclaims won't really work unless you have large displacement. And by large displacement, I don't think this is large enough. But look, it worked nicer here, but you would have to been waiting for it. But price really has to have very large displacement, and then in the next few days you could take it off a bounce. So 1555, I would just, to utilize it the best, I would just use it for only bounces. Don't use it for a reclaim like this. At this point, I would have rather have waited for, yeah, previous day. This would have been a better level. But still, this wasn't high probability. Tony and Jack took it, but look at this. It really needed to close above this. You needed a complete closure above this for any longs to be possible, to be valid. And look, this is on the hourly. Let's see, 4 hour. So 4 hourly, 4 hour looks like this. There's no close above. 2 hour, no close above. 1 hour, no close above. 5 minute, there's no close. It's a 5-minute wick. I don't know why they did this. This is a pure high risk trade, pure high risk.
Yeah.
So these guys can, this is why I say, Hamza, these guys can take these high risk plays and it's not going to affect their bank account. They can blow 10 grand and it's not a problem. But for us, the small guys, we need to really analyze the higher time frame to be like, okay, does the higher time frame give me the green light? Has this shown me that Apple has broken out of this range? This is clear range. You see it, right? These two levels. Price is not broken. It's not giving us a green light. The only way it's going to give us a green light is if price does this with displacement, and now it's coming in for the retest. Now this is our setup. If it doesn't do that, I'm not even looking at it. Price could do it now. Now Apple looks really good. Maybe this week it can do this exact move. So then we could be looking for longs off this level, 260. But a scalp into it, that's funny because Tony and Jack say this all the time. We're not breakout traders. We're break and retest traders. But what do? They took a breakout trade. Not worth the risk. Not worth the risk.
Something I was telling Hamza, when did everyone come over the other day? Like
Friday.
the queues in SPY were like really hot, right?
Mm.
So I probably thought like, oh, like it can break out for them. Like that was probably their intention, right? But like you said, they can afford to lose that capital, right?
Yeah.
I think they saw Apple with a lot of relative strength that day. That's why they took it.
Yeah. So
But if you look at it, if you look at Nvidia, right, it had a lot of relative strength going into 184, like 10 times before it broke out. So I was telling Hamza this too. Like this is a key stock, and the next few days is going to be pretty interesting, right?
Yeah.
If you, is this Nvidia?
This
It's
is Nvidia.
it's perfect example. It was like 8 touches, 8. Even if you go back left, look how many touches.
For 184, right? Look at
Yeah,
this.
184.
Crazy,
So
man.
remember, I took some shorts off this level too. So either you can sell into that level, or take like a position.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Okay.
that
Look,
day
look.
broke out. That day broke out when I took it. It could have. It's a probability it wouldn't have worked, right? But because of the amount of touches it had, I was like, all right, it's probably more likely going to move,
Yeah.
which it was the case.
So exactly what we're talking about on Apple, Hamza. Look,
Mm-hmm.
this is what we want Apple to do, and Nvidia did this. So kept touching, resistance. This is a huge supply. This is a massive supply from freaking man from July. This is so like this is like steel. So to short from this level is probably the better move until you get a close above. Until then, longs are off the table. But look what happens here. Price breaks up with nice displacement, comes back for the retest. This is the A plus setup that you want to look for a break and retest. Why? Because higher time frame gave you the green light. You see, same scenario on Apple. We didn't get a green light. It's too early. Why am I going to risk my capital and my mental headspace for this trade only to get a loser on it or maybe a small win? And now my whole psychological game for the week is off. You get what I mean, Hamza? So
Yeah.
that's why if I don't see it on the higher time frame, I'm not touching it. I'm not touching it.
So
These are the moves. These are the moves we wait for.
that box you draw, Munir,
Mm.
your that last candle, is it on the 15-minute chart?
For which stock? This one?
Any stock like that box you draw for the
Mhm.
aftermarket. Is it? Are you looking at the 5-minute or 15-minute?
You're talking about the 1555? That's 5 minute. Always,
5-minute. Okay.
always 5 minute. So we could do some right now. Let's see.
So for Apple, see, my time's a little different. Mine's actually, let me do UTC.
Oh, yeah. If you just do it New York, let's see what LA would
Yeah,
be. LA would be 1255, right? Yeah.
Yeah, 1255.
Okay, so it's that red wick, right?
What day are we looking at?
Today or Friday.
Friday. Okay. So Friday going into Monday. Now you're looking for a
Yes.
zone for Monday? Yeah. So it would be right here. This candle. This green candle. So this green candle, top of wick, the bottom of wick, or top of wick to body, and I'll just drag it over
Oh, so it's right before the close. That's where you're drawing it.
right before the close.
So on Monday for Tesla, you could take a previous day low break and retest with that 1555 candle right there level.
Let's see, 1555 right here. You said previous low of day? What do you mean? Low of day is way down here, buddy.
Oh, mine looks different than yours.
Really? It shouldn't be. Friday. So this is Friday. 1555 is here. We'll see where it opens. It really depends on pre-market. So I like it when pre-market opens above up here. Then I'm looking for the dip into it. Look at this, man. Had I shorted
Oh, I think I was on the wrong day. That's why.
Tesla, came all the way down into this level. My goodness. It's so frustrating sometimes, man.
So what are your supply and demand zones on Apple? Because this is the next breakout trade that I'm interested in, similar
Yeah.
to Nvidia. So I know I have one strong resistance line at 260.10.
Figure this out.
Or 260, yeah.
So this is what I got. So right now we're in range. I still consider this range. The top is going to be okay. So we have 259.29 or 259. 259 down to 257.50. And the reason why it's 257.50 is because of this wick. This wick right here. So this is my supply zone. And my demand is very, very tight here. Demand is basically this red candle's wick all the way down. So demand is going to be 253.87, 253.20. So that's what I'm looking for. Yeah, that's a nice run up from Tesla, Apple. And that's another thing. Apple is not known to make those huge moves in a day. The ATR is just not there. Tesla does that. Tesla will run away from you. Apple really is not going to do that. So for them to take a breakout trade like that wasn't in their favor. AMD is looking nice for a swing also. I really like AMD. If it holds this level, 164 down to 161,
Let me share my screen real quick.
we could see 187.
All right, let me know if you can see.
Yeah, I can see.
All right, so this is the supply zone we have, right? The white line is that absolute 260 level that it needs to break.
Mm.
And then this is from 259 to, I drew it to this wick right here, Munir. So it's like
Yeah.
256, 257.
Mm-hmm.
So, okay. And then if I hone in to the 5, sorry. This is that 15-minute, sorry, the 5-minute, 50, what is it? 1555, right?
1555. Yep, 1555.
Yeah. So right now, this is like in no man's land, isn't it?
Yeah, we just don't have enough information. If pre-market Monday morning is hovering above, we could take a bounce. If it's hovering below, then you could take a short potentially, but
Short from this box.
short from the box, yeah. But the problem is we're wedged in a range. The range is between 253 and now 257. That's the range. In between that range, I don't feel comfortable taking either a long or a short because price is just going to chop on the higher time frame. We want to see
I
a break.
feel like it's just gonna chop, right?
We want to see a break above 260 for longs or a break below 253 for shorts. It's likely going to chop, especially with FOMC. I don't think this is going to move that much.
One more stock I wanted to show you, and we can end with this, is
Okay.
Shop. So this one had news on Friday.
Mhm.
They basically signed a pact with OpenAI, right? And then it like shot through this level. And for this stock to move 10 points or so, that's like a big deal. Because this stock, like it doesn't move like that.
No.
So when you look at this, let's break up the daily, right? How would you draw your supply and demand zones? Like if you
Go to
wanted
the
to share
two-
your screen and do it.
Yeah, go to the 2 hour. I already see a demand zone. Let me shop S.
drawings.
Why do I have two shop? There's two shops? The heck?
It'll be one.
TMX. Oh, okay. Nice. Okay, I'm gonna take over.
Yeah, let me stop here.
Okay, there's already a demand zone right here. Look at this. So you're gonna wait for a bounce here. This will be your bounce area. So now you're gonna want price to come in. See where it opens pre-market. And then it's gonna come here and shoot up. That would be ideal scenario.
Why is that the demand zone?
So you see this, I mean, if you really want to fine tune, then you could say here, but I like this wick telling me that buyers push price here. So buyers were actively involved here. So this area now is not an easy area to break through for sellers because buyers were present enough to create this wick. So the general rule of supply and demand is you want to draw it from the area that has the smallest candle right before the expansion candle. So this is an expansion candle, right? So ideally, you would want the box to be here. This would be the ideal circumstance.
Mhm.
This would be ideal, okay? But if I didn't see this, this would be ideal. But because this wick, I really like this wick. So now I want to include it in my zone because price may very well tap into just this wick and shoot. But given how shop moves, I mean, you know better than me, but it might just do this for a while before it goes. Right? But this would be an area of interest. This would be a definite area of interest for a pullback. This would be a healthy area for the pullback. Also, if you notice, this is kind of creating like a cup, right?
Cup and handle.
And then now we're going to wait for this. Hopefully price could come here and then shoot. Right?
Yeah.
That's nice. This would be, so you would look to day trade this or you would look to swing this?
So if I were day trading this, my trade would have been this. Share again.
Yeah, I really like this, man. This is looking nicely bullish.
So this was the run up, right?
Mhm.
And you guys can probably just picture some sort of flag. Do I have a brush tool here?
It would be in the box where you see the box, the brush is in there.
The box.
Yeah, down, go down two. Yeah, right in there. Down
Another
one. Right in there. There it is.
Oh yeah, okay. So here's that flag, right?
Mhm.
So a safe trade, and this is textbook. I've taken this many times. Alt R. Right above VWAP, right? Look at this 5-minute candle. 158.70. Your risk is 40 cents, right? And this gave you a 2-point move. Sorry, 158 to 1. 4-point move.
4, yeah.
Yeah. So
That's
I
nice.
love this trade. I love this trade above VWAP. It's a VWAP continuation, whatever you want to call it. Bullfag setup. This is the trade I missed when I looked at it. Because I was thinking, man, where do you enter here, right? And this common sense was it could have pulled back to that price level, right? So this is the demand zone we just drew.
Mhm.
And look how it kisses it perfectly. It's like in this box.
Beautiful. That's
So
a
had I
beautiful
known
trade.
this, right, I could have maybe taken a starter position here, right? Break of this, like 158. Just a starter
Holy-
position.
holy
Stop
crap,
would have been
yeah.
what? 156.50. I mean, it's not guaranteed, but I'm just saying it's a high probability given the news. The market was on fire that day, right?
Oh yeah.
And it fell into our zone.
That's a beautiful trade, man.
Again,
That's
it fell right here in the zone.
And yeah, look, it came
Nice
back
bounce.
to that. So that shows that the demand zone is valid. because it came back into it a second time and it still held that price, right? So higher time frame zones really work on the lower time frame. That's where higher time frame alignment falls in. If it's green light on the higher time frame, then you have probabilities working in your favor on the lower time frame. So,
Now, what I don't like about this stock, because it's very sometimes it can get spready. The
Mhm.
1555 rule, I wouldn't apply it here necessarily,
Mhm.
because it's not like Tesla or Nvidia or Apple, right? It's, or maybe it can apply, but I would say know your stock too, whichever you're trying to apply. Maybe I would need to back test it and see, but
Yeah.
you can see it's kind of spready, right? It doesn't look, these are not clean
Yeah.
like candles, I would say.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's as when I used to trade shop, I remember it just always being choppy all the freaking time. You enter and then it's just back and forth, back and forth.
Or I guess this candle would have worked for a short. Maybe that's a supply zone.
That would be a supply, yeah. But
Yeah.
so it wouldn't really be a supply zone. So whenever you think supply and demand, think higher time frame. When you bring it down to the lower time frame, then I don't think it'll still be called that. I mean, you could say
Okay.
short term, but when you think supply, think a lot of sellers. When you think of demand, think a lot of buyers. So in this case, it could just be like a rejection zone or a buy zone. But yeah,
Yep.
you want to do it on the higher time frame.
So yeah,
Yeah, that's a
it
good
has a
trade.
really nice daily. So what I'm gonna look for is maybe what would this do now? I think it's probably gonna buy if I knowing this stock, I think it's just gonna go like right, and then maybe catch a bounce from here.
Yeah. I
That's
mean,
what I'm predicting.
the good thing is it has already bounced from that demand, so that demand is holding. Now you have to see what it does in pre-market. Maybe it'll give you another opportunity for a bounce before it shoots up. But that's a huge move it made, right? So
Huge move.
so it since that's uncanny for a shop to do that, if you look on the hourly, it's likely going to want to fill some of that imbalance. How far low it goes, who knows? But that's a huge expansion candle. At least it'll fill 50% of it before it shoots back up.
Right. So I'm gonna be looking for dips in the 158, 157. Because I know this demand zone, sorry, yeah, demand zone, right, is it's valid.
Mm.
Absolute stop, let's just say 156, whatever the low of this one is.
Yeah.
156.50, 64. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good level, man.
All right.
Great move. Great move on that.
Let me just
Amir, do
stop
you
the
use
recording.
TradingView or IBKR charts?
Was that? So what?